right, Barrister. That was Peter Obi in a function. Actually, in the function, he was serving food, serving people food. So just like a waiter in a restaurant. So that's exactly what you saw there. Now, when I watched this clip, I just shook my head. This is the problem I have with politicians and politics in general. This is one thing I hate about politics because politics just makes you automatically, of course, for you to be a successful politician, you just have to be a successful hypocrite, a successful sycophant, and a pretender. You just project to the public what the public want to see or know, while behind the scene you are a different person entirely. Sometimes a complete 180-degree different from what the public know about you. On that normal circumstances, for God's sake, tell me, would you think that Peter Obi would have, if not for politics, he's vying for public office, he will be serving people in a function, in an event? He'll be a waiter?
Well, maybe not. But
you don't even put maybe. Are you serious?
Yeah, maybe not. But we all know that Peter Obi is extremely...
Remember, sorry to cut you short again. Remember, I don't know if you were then when Rochas Okorocha of Imo State, before he became governor, you remember when he was trying to contest as a president, and before he became governor, you remember there was one time for a very long time, either 30 days or so, there was this commercial that was run, 30 minutes commercial on national television where they were showcasing the humanitarian part of Rochas Okorocha, how they projected his humanity, they projected his charity traits, they projected his acts of love and whatever. On that documentary, we watched where Rochas, just like what Peter Obi is doing, was actually going to schools to actually schools and events to serve food to the invitees, just like what Peter Obi is doing. And what happened thereafter? He became a governor. He didn't win the ticket for the presidential primaries, but at least when he lost, he had to went and contested for the governorship. All those things actually gave him victory to be as the governor of Imo State. And after 8 years, what happened? That Rochas Okorocha that everybody admired when he was contesting became a different person entirely. There was this 180-degree turn turn from the populace against him. Because they saw a different Rochas Okorocha. That wasn't everything we watched in the documentary. Wasn't it? That's not what happened. So we will find out that this man is not only wicked, he's also as corrupt as other politicians. Barrister. Now Peter Obi is doing the same thing. Anyway, Peter Obi is different. It's not corrupt. There's no doubt about it. He has proven that. There's no doubt about that. But my problem is, must a politician actually play to the gallery to win the heart of the electorate?
I said probably not, because we have known Peter Obi for a while. We know his humility. We know his humanity. I remember, I think in 2010, when the NBA Kaduna State hosted the annual general conference of the NBA, not far from my office at Murtala Square. We saw Peter Obi. He drove to the venue himself, parked his car, and between this place where you park and the actual venue is quite some distance. And he walked alone. We met him and we recognized him and we
What year was that?
I think 2010. 2010, okay. When we hosted the NBA in Kaduna. We met him, all of us who were almost all the lawyers in that place. We met him, we recognized, we stopped him. He shook our hands, we shook hands with him. There was no protocol, nothing.
And then he had already, when was he the governor, sir? I forgot.
I think he was governor then.
He was
He should have
governor.
been, yes, I believe he was governor then.
Wow.
Because the first governor of uh, Anambra, I think, was Chris Mbandiju,
Yes.
then Ngige,
Yeah. Okay.
before Peter Obi came. So he was a governor, and he drove himself to the venue. So his humility is not a public display. It's something that it comes with him. It comes with him naturally. So that is why I say probably not. But in an occasion like this, and for this kind of time, it was perhaps necessary to showcase that humility by going around and serving people. Remember, most of the time he travels economy class inside the plane on long journeys. He interacts with people even in the market. So I am not surprised that he could do that, bring that visibility by serving food in those
But
occasions.
hold on.
Again,
Let me ask you something. Sorry to interject or interrupt you. Let me ask you something, because this question just came to my mind. Do you think one has to build a Peter Obi to actually succeed administratively or economically? Do you have to be that frugal, or do you have to be such? You have to live such a simplistic lifestyle for you to? Because the truth is, some of his lifestyle, to me, I, I don't subscribe to it. Honestly, that's not what endeared me to him. Yes, he's simple. Yes, he's measured economy when it comes to economic dispositions. There's no doubt about that. Because but I can't imagine myself being a billionaire. Even me, that I'm as poor as I am, I don't fly economy anymore. I don't fly. I fly for first class. Not to talk of Peter Obi, who is a billionaire. He can afford it a million times, a billion times more than myself, comfortably and conveniently. And so I don't get it. A sort of so must you have to? I don't know why this kind of mentality. We just feel that anybody that is stingy and probably that have a kind of a measured lifestyle, it's a yardstick for good governance. We have Donald Trump in the U.S. Donald Trump, there's nobody who lives luxuriously like Donald Trump. Donald Trump lives when you talk of luxury, his house is laced with gold because he has so much passion for gold. This man lives in luxury. He has one of the best and most expensive jets globally. Yet, he is ruling well. He's doing the right thing. He's a very, very good and effective leader. So, Barrister, does that
yes,
what Peter Obi lifestyle does it have anything to do with administration?
no, I think it's character.
That is it.
I think his simplicity is his character. It's not a showman case. It's not trying to show off for politics. I think he is by nature and by character a very simple person. And like most people, even people who have money, they look at things as, if I drive wear a gold wristwatch worth $100,000. What does it add to me? If I wear a suit of $1 million or drive a car of $10 million, what does it add to me? There are a lot of people that think, a lot of us that think that way. It's not for lack of money or for showing off of money or enjoyment or otherwise. They just consider it non-enjoyment. I, for one, I have said that even if I become the richest man in the world, I wear the most cheapest clothes. Because at that point, it detracts nothing from you. Even if a Dangote today should go to the market and buy 500
let me ask
wrapper.
you. Yeah.
I'm coming, let me learn. Even if Dangote today should go to the market and buy 500 wrapper and wear, people will still come and worship him.
Yeah.
So wearing the expensive clothes adds nothing to your personality at that level. It's we that are struggling, that want to present, when we want to show ourselves, we want to be presentable. People at a certain level, people go to them. People take traits from them. Even people, some other people will even copy them and say, ah, even this man is that, what of me? Let me also be like that. I believe it is Peter Obi's character to be simple and not to be materialistic in spite of his wealth. So it's in his character.
Yeah.
Simple.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, but my own problem is this copy thing. People just I asked you a question. Even though you didn't answer it, but I think I suspect what will be your answer. I don't know why people see his simplicity as someone, because he's this simple and measured when it comes to spending, as such, that is a strong yardstick for him to actually rule a government without being corrupt. And I gave an example. Donald Trump is a billionaire, just like Peter Obi, though richer than Peter Obi, but he's a billionaire as well, and he lives in the top most luxurious level. It's just, yet he's not corrupt in government as a public officer. So I don't know, because again, Nigerians we know how to copy. We are copycats. My point is, why should people, because that part of Peter B, I don't subscribe to it. If you can afford it, if you can afford to take care of yourself, live good, for God's sake, how long do you have to live on earth? If you can afford to live comfortably and do for people too, why not? The thing is, what I am critical against is you cannot afford to live luxurious life and help people. If you cannot afford to do these two things at the same time, then you have to. That means you are not capable of. You've not gotten to that level yet. So measure yourself. That is it. But if you can afford to walk and chew gum at the same time, why not? Why will I be flying economy when I'm a billionaire? That's my point. Why will I, whatever, if I can afford to buy, me too, when it comes to outfits, I wear the simplest of clothes. Sometimes it could be the cheapest. Sometimes it could be more expensive. Sometimes it will be out. It just depends on what cat is. I don't follow trend. I don't follow designers. I don't follow name. I don't follow what looks good to me. Simple clothes. It could be ₦1. It could be 10 naira. And sometimes something that catches my eye could be $500. That is just it. But if I can afford it and still help other people around me, that's fine. That gives me fulfillment. So, Barrister, my point is, must you actually be, because that is what Peter Obi is projecting, his simplicity that he's talking about. Okay, he wears one shoe, just like Peter. I remember Jonathan used that to campaign too. Why do Nigerians actually fall prey of this kind of, sometimes in Peter Obi's case, it's not a false humility, it's a sincere one, it's a genuine humility. But in so many cases of so many politicians' case, it's a false humility. So my point is, can't we just look at politicians based on administrative skills and not personal lifestyle?
Well, sometimes the personal lifestyle will also impute into the public lifestyle. That is why it is important to look at a leader from all angles, from all perspectives, even the way he relates with his wife and children. As long as you are a leader, those things can impact in the way you carry out public affairs. That's why a leader is scrutinized all over. Everything about a leader ought to be in the public domain, because everything you do privately, behind closed doors, can also have an impact in what you do in public. So there is no much daylight between the two. If you have wealth, I have no objection for your enjoying the wealth, even publicly. But again, sometimes displaying our wealth in a poor environment will send the wrong signal. So somebody should just be a bit cautious. If you go to, I don't necessarily subscribe to Peter Obi going in the party serving food But of course, it brings him even greater visibility and even more sympathy from people because it will be the talk of the day when people go back from that party. You can bet it is going to be the talk of the day in the homes and shops and elsewhere when people depart from that party. That, oh, we went to a party and Peter Obi himself was serving food. So it will amplify the campaign. It will amplify the personality if you did that. So I can see it as a political campaign, a way of projecting yourself further than that particular occasion. I don't condemn it, but it is not at all necessary. Somebody who chooses not to do it is well within his right not to do it. And no other person has been doing. You don't see somebody like Atiku, like Kwankwaso, Tinubu, or anybody. They are more like kings. Wherever they go to an occasion, they are more like the king, where everybody come and kneel down and salute and greet and go back. So he is presenting a contrast to what the other
Who is
people
that?
are.
There is this president. I don't know if you remember the country. Forgotten his name, the country's name, and the president's name. Who actually a president, former president, who was actually still driving in this old Beetle. Do you remember that president?
I think it's in South America. But I can't. It's in South America. I read the story quite sometimes. It's in South America.
Yeah,
I
that
can't
was. I don't know.
recall
I don't know. Do you
the,
have record of his performance as a president?
not really. It's even that incident that even made me to know that he was a president. Is that reporting?
Yes. Okay.
I even came to know that he served as a
Yeah.
president, and
Honestly,
he was dubbed as the poorest
yes, president.
president of
Yeah,
all.
because if I had this in mind before this show, I could have done a research on him to find out what was his disposition as a president, what did he do, what did he perform well, or whatever. Because I just want to, because I'm just trying to
But like,
disabuse people's mind to this issue, to this. Yeah, I agree with you that charity begins at home. That actually that it is difficult for you to separate your personal lifestyle from how your from your leadership skills. But at the same time, I still am of the opinion that 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 there is still a line. The line might not be broad, but a thin line between both. There is an element of disparity, of difference here, because like someone I just told you about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an ample or clear evidence that you can actually live a lavish lifestyle and still rule a country or lead an organization without being corrupt. A sort of. So I think that it all depends on one's
like
upbringing.
like I said, sometimes it's necessary to do a gesture of empathy with people. Even Donald Trump, he has refused
Yeah,
to
he does
take
a lot
his
of that.
salary.
Yeah, he doesn't serve, but he
He
does a lot.
refused
He
to
did it with
he refused to accept the salary and sent it
McDonald's now.
for charity.
Yes.
For charity. So sometimes it's necessary to do an act or show something to show empathy with less privileged people and the less powerful people in society, one way or the other.
Okay, I think I agree with you with this last point you made. Just sunk. There's no doubt about that. I agree with you on that. Yeah, sometimes it's good to, even though that's not what you can do ordinarily, it's good to actually make people, the less people on the street, to feel have sense of belonging. Yeah, condescend to their low, make them to condescend to their level, then make them feel that okay, this person knows our pain, he can feel our pain, he understands our pain. Anyway, that's a good point. That last point was a very, very good
And
one. I think I agree with you on that.
also, let's not forget, like the ex-president that was driving a Beetle, it's not because he does not have money to buy a better car, because presidents are well taken care of throughout the world.
Yeah.
I think in a recent interview, Buhari said that he was only living on rent from his house in Kaduna, which was, which I find it very repulsive, because the Nigerian president takes his salary for life. Their
Yeah.
cars, he has
300
about
million naira. Yeah.
three or four cars, change every 4 years, with a lot of perquisites of office. That alone can make you live comfortably for the rest of your life. So for you to come and be telling us that you are living only on your rent from your Kaduna property, which is one property, it is repulsive to me.
All right, Barrister.
It doesn't sound well. It doesn't sit well with me.